Is now 8:30. Good morning. Welcome to the WLBB Community Voice here on News Talk 1330, FM 106.3. Also streaming live online at newstalk1330.com. And this morning, you can catch us on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page and see these two big, burly, handsome gentlemen sitting across from me, loaded with testosterone. Two men I respect and admire both a lot, and appreciate them coming on the program this morning. They do want to talk about a big event that's coming up this weekend, so we'll give them that whole half hour to talk about that and talk about themselves a little bit too, because they do a lot of good work here, and I hope everybody does notice that every time that they are on the program. Promoting these kind of events takes a lot of work to put together. A Memorial Day celebration and recognition coming up this Saturday. Sitting to my right, we have Donald Levans. Sitting to my left is Barry Gardner, and co-organizers of these annual events.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, we're glad to have you guys on here. So tell us, this Saturday, we got it going on, right?
Got it going on.
Kicks off on Saturday. We're hoping to get back to, I won't say new normal, but we're getting back to normal. We're going to have a ceremony out there at the Veterans Park. We're going to go with everything that we normally go with. We're going to have some bleachers this time. In the paper, we said we didn't have bleachers, but then based on what the governor's guidance was, we can go ahead and put some bleachers out there. There'll be only 4, and they'll be widely spaced. Bring your own chairs if you don't want to sit in the bleachers, but you don't have to bring a chair. We're going to go through all the safety and COVID guidance as far as social distancing goes, but we're trying to get back to the way we used to do business because this nation needs to get that way.
Now,
Amen.
Was it last Memorial Day that we did it in studio? You actually
We
had
did
your
both.
speaker?
Yeah, we did. No, it was
Veterans Day was in the studio. Memorial Day was an abbreviated ceremony out at the park, and this one is back to the business as usual.
Oh, good. Looking forward to it. All right, give us the rundown. What time are we starting? I'm sure we're going to have music. We'll be started with Terry Langley with music. Right?
Terry Lowry.
Terry Lowry, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Terry Langley bringing music might be entertaining.
Terry will probably be there also.
He can dance.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, it's going to kick off at 10:30 with the Carrollton Wind Ensemble, again with headed by Terry Lowry, and they always add a lot to the program. That patriotic music, for the first 30 minutes, gets your blood going and gets you in the mood to go ahead.
Sets the tone.
And it sets the tone, and you remember veterans and remember America. 11 o'clock, the program kicks off, and it's kind of a special thing. What we're going to do, it's a special day in the park's history. We're going to take a look back at the history of the park, honor those whose foresight and dedication made the park possible, and rededicate the park to honor the veterans of Carroll County. So it'll start off like a history lesson, and we go through the history lesson, and then Commissioner Morgan will read a proclamation and rededicate the park. So it's been since 2000, and now it's 2021, so it's a good time to rededicate that park for the purpose. So we're looking forward to it. And we're ready to kick it off. And with this, I want to ask Don to kind of give us some history on how we got to where we are.
Hook us up, Don.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, there's actually 4 periods in the history of the park, and the first one is founding to get the thing going, and that was led by Nellie Duke. And once it was founded, then there's a developing period, and that was led by Norris Garrett, and that lasted for 12 years. And then we filled up all of those walls, and it needed expanding, so there was an expansion period, and that was led by me. And now there is the maintenance period, and that's led by Barry Gardner, sitting right over there. So that is the sort of the overall view of the park as it is got to today. Most movements start with a germ of an idea. Thus, our Memorial Park begins one Monday morning when, in 1999, when at Southwire, one of the employees came in named Donald Allen and says to Bill Maddox, I was at Tallapoosa this weekend and I saw that Veterans Memorial Park up there. And he says, why can't Carroll County veterans have a park like that? Well, that caused further discussion, and eventually a group advertised that there'd be a meeting of veterans to propose this development. It was off and running then. as they tried to create and form an organization, it seemed that none of the veterans were willing to step up and be the president. So the wife of one of the very active members of Post 143, Miss Nellie Duke, raised her hand and said, well, if y'all won't do it, I will. So Nellie became the first president of the park at that event. So Nellie was a blessing because she had the knowledge and the contacts with state and county officials, and she was able to obtain money and land to put the park on. So they then got their nonprofit status, and so that's why I call Nellie the founder of the organization. Donald Allen remained active supporter, but Bill Maddox remains to this day one of, or if not the most active member of the Park Association. So, and Bill is most assuredly a link that holds us together from the very first day that the thing started, and we're going to imagine how we appreciate that. A major key to the success of the park is the wonderful partnership that we have with the county commission chairs over the years, Chappell, Ayers, Smith, Martin, and also Sheriff Terry Langley, who have been major supporters of our efforts here. The dirt belongs to the county of Carroll. Therefore, it is a Carroll County park. This organization that was formed still does the begging for the money and the ideas and keep being sure that it is held together and function, and remains a very pretty and wonderful place. Mm-hmm. If you've never been, you need to go. If you've been and haven't been at night, I dare you to go. It is a very, very moving place to go and stand alone and be silent at night.
Well, tell us what the setup is there. I mean, I imagine people driving by Noonan Road, they can see a little bit up there, but what is?
It's open. It don't have no fence around it. It is well lit at night. It's very special lighting. It just do something to you. The park was designed to be, it's in military specific. Everything's where it ought to be. Everything is standing at attention. There's no parade rest thing at that park. There's a feeling you can get. It's the same square inch from the flagpole to one end of the walkway as it is to the other. Mm-hmm. And for some reason you feel it when you stand there. There's 1,200 and some odd plaques on the wall of veterans who have served our nation.
What do you see as for the future of that? I mean, are there things that you would like to see added to that park in the future? I mean, maybe obviously you're going to need money or donations, or do you think it's pretty well set up?
Well, we have almost every feature in the park that I think you would need mm-hmm. to call attention to our past and to the performance of those who made it, our freedom happen. We possibly would need more walls. Mm-hmm. But we have space on the other hill already designated to double the size of the park. So,
yeah. Well, right now we've got 28 walls completed. We're working on wall number 29, and with that set up, we'll have 1,344 veterans plaques on the wall. So we've moved quite along. And like Don says, the way these walls are set up, any angle you look one way, you see a fountain. You look the other way, you see a bell tower. You look at a diagonal, you're going to see soldiers. You look another direction, you see a MIA memorial. It's just fantastic to sit there and look around because everything is dressed and lined up the way it's supposed to be. It really looks good. I've said this in the past, in my 25 years of active duty, traveling all over the place, I've never seen a community that supports veterans any more than Carrollton and Carroll County. People here are fantastic, and you can see that in that park. That park shows the dedication of the citizens, the businesses, and the government to honor veterans, and it's just really a great to be associated with that park because it really makes you feel good to go out there and makes you feel good to be a veteran.
Our families and veterans, are they still coming forward and saying, hey, I'd like my family member's name
Oh,
on
yes.
that wall?
Like wall 29, the one we're working on now, we're about 3/4 of our way done through that one. So they move rather quickly, and again, Bill Maddox is responsible for getting the names, and he's in charge of what we call credentials. That's the group of people that looks at the veteran's application, compares that to the military records, because we want to make sure that what's on that wall is accurate and authentic. So we go through that, and we help the family to put the best display of their service members' history on the plaque. And Bill's responsible for that, and it's an ongoing process. There's a telephone number. Unfortunately, I don't have it in front of me, but there is a number out there at the park where you can call to get in touch with Bill Maddox. And if you'd like to get a plaque or a brick, he's the person to see, and we'll go ahead and get your name up there any way you'd like to see it.
They can visit the website too, right? You do have a website.
Yes.
They can get that. That's probably where the phone number is.
Well, there's 8,000 veterans living today in Carroll County, and there's probably hundreds or thousands, certainly, of veterans' ancestors who've passed away that were veterans. And so there's a lot of people eligible to get a plaque. And we probably named the thing wrong. It's a memorial park. It's really an honors park because you don't have to be dead to be honored.
Yeah.
I imagine
be memorial.
You talk about as much ancestry as people do nowadays. I think they go back and find family members who were in wars. And
I went back everyone I could find and bought a plaque for them on there. I like to see Levans's on the wall there. but
we like to see Levans's in studio, and we appreciate you coming this morning to talk about.
Yeah, but I want people to think about looking over that and going and buying a plaque, calling Bill and Wanda, and signing up for a plaque for their ancestors. See, and we'll add some more walls.
We're going to take our first break, gentlemen, and come back and continue our conversation. Barry Gardner and Donald Levans, our guest on this morning's Community Voice, as we are talking about the big Memorial Day event coming up on Saturday. Again, I believe that starts live at 11 o'clock, although music
starts at 10:30.
At 10:30. Right now, it looks like it's going to be a real nice day. A little less humidity. The temperature will be a little less than it is this week. I think it's going to be in the 80s. And sunshine. So I hope you get an opportunity to go and attend that event. If you can't, you can watch it on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page. Joel Brock will be out there with camera, and I believe we'll stream it live from News Talk 1330 WLBB and FM 106.3 as well. So, so you can take that moment out of your Memorial Day holiday and enjoy that. Time right now is 8:43. We will take that first break, come back and continue our conversation here on the Community Voice, News Talk 1330 FM 106.3, sponsored by Tanner Health System and Oak Mountain Academy.
Travel, get-togethers, Sunday morning worship. COVID-19 has almost put a stop to our way of life. Vaccination is our best shot at getting back to normal. The COVID-19 vaccine is based on more than a decade of research. Trials show it's safe and can provide up to 95% protection when you've received both doses. Tanner is committed to making the vaccine as widely available as possible, giving you a shot at getting back to life. Until then, keep wearing your mask, washing your hands, and avoid gatherings. Learn more and get updates at tanner.org/vaccine.
As a graduate of Oak Mountain Academy, I've found that my experience on the mountain prepared me beyond all expectations. As a junior at Auburn University, I approached my studies with great confidence thanks to what I learned at OMA. When I think back on my time on the mountain, I think of my teachers. Their genuine love and concern for me as a student was always evident, and now, as an adult, I still foster those relationships. I'm Carly Robinson, an Oak Mountain Academy alum. Visit oakmountain.us to see how you can offer your child an amazing opportunity to be a warrior.
$8:44. Welcome back to the WLBB Community Voice here on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3, streaming live online at newstalk1330.com. And this morning we're on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page. You can see me and our guests, Barry Gardner and Donald Levans, as we talk about the Carroll County's Memorial Day weekend event, which is coming up on Saturday, and that program starts at 11. There'll be music at 10:30 as you're coming into the event, and again, it'll be on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page on Saturday, as well as the radio airwaves, News Talk 1330 FM 106.3. Definitely going over the event, the event that's planned for Saturday. Discussed, I guess, about half of the history of putting this together, and that's going to be a significant portion of this event on Saturday. You guys discussing that and reminding everybody and being thankful that the community supports it so much, and you guys are able to raise the funds to keep it going. I believe we got about halfway through before we went to our break.
Yeah, Don gave us the early history, and during the presentation, what I'm going to do is hit the major significant events of the park. Actually, beginning back in November the 11th of 2000, when the park was dedicated. Actually, 2001. 2000 was dedicated. Senator Max Cleland was the featured speaker at the park. And so we started off with a bang. When he actually did that, as I understand it, it was just a place in the dirt. And they dedicated the park at that time. And when you think of it then and you look at it now, it has come a long way. And again, it's come a long way from a lot of hard work by a lot of good citizens. So the grading actually began in 2001. They put the flagpole in July of 2001. The walkway from the parking lot to the flagpole was completed that year, and the first of the 16 wall footings were poured in October of 2001. Each wall has 48 plaques on it, or each face, with 96 on a total wall. So we started out with that first wall in 2001, and we kind of keep a pace of about 2 walls a year. And it's moved on through that, and like I've said, we completed Wall 28. We're working on Wall 29 now, and there are 1,344 names on the walls right now. So we've definitely come a long way. There's other features in the park. We do have the service wall. It's got the military emblems of all the services. One of the best features to show history is the KIA wall, which lists people killed in action from Carroll County. And that goes all the way back from the Civil War on through. There's also listings of veterans from the Revolutionary War who had ties to Carroll County. So you can see from the Revolutionary War all the way through the current global war on terror, the contributions of the veterans of Carroll County all in one place. So it's a great historical place of significance. It's a great place to bring children to come out there and show them the history of actually the U.S. and the history of Carroll County from the veterans' standpoint. So it's a great place, and I just encourage people to come out there, not only for our ceremonies, but just go on out there with your family some afternoon and sit down and take a look at what a meaningful place it is.
Absolutely. I've taken my son out there a couple of times, actually, and I think every time we've gone out there has been other people out there, but it's not like you're bumping into them, and you don't want to interrupt anybody else when they're up there as well, because you don't know what they're feeling and maybe the reason why they're up there. It may be to to remember people and their family as well. But it is, they definitely open to the public. Yeah, and it's striking to me that it is, it's at the entrance of Carrollton. I mean, it's Carroll County's park, but as you pull into Carrollton, you go through that cool little roundabout. You see that park there, and I think that probably says a lot about the community when you come in and see that as well.
Yeah, it is really something to see. And, it's all the way through. We get additions all the time, and I'll mention one that really means a lot to me. We have a MIA table that was put up in the park, and this was an Eagle Scout project of Eagle Scout Drake Pauley from Troop 2424 out at Fairfield Plantation. Drake actually approached our executive committee with his plans and his proposal of what he was going to do, how he was going to do it, and how he was going to fund it. And with approval from our executive committee, he started out to put this project together. If you know what an MIA table is, it is the table with the rose, with the wine glass, signifying the position, waiting for this missing in action person to come home. And he put this thing together, and we dedicated that at our Memorial Day ceremony in May of 2018. And we also, at that time, dedicated the memorial benches over at the KIA wall that I mentioned earlier. That table and those benches in that area make that place one of the most solemn places in the park. That's really some place to sit there and look and see those that died and those that's missing. It honors both of them.
Well, you skipped over the women's service wall when that was completed.
Yeah. Well, I've got so many different dates here, correct? Women's service wall went in April of 2010, and that shows the contributions of the women to the United States. Things have changed considerably. I mean, they've always been involved, clean back to waving the flag, back with Martha, Ross back in the Revolutionary War. They've always been behind the scenes, but right now they are not behind the scenes. They're standing right next to the men, doing everything they can do to help us as a nation stay together. So that women's service wall is very meaningful. You can see it it's a beautiful mural showing all kinds of different contributions by the women in the military service.
And that brings us to May 2021. That's when the park is rededicated, and that's part of the event, which is coming up this Saturday. We'll talk more about that after we take our second break. Community Voice, brought to you by Tanner Health System, Oak Mountain Academy on News Talk 1330, FM 106.3.
Travel, get-togethers, Sunday morning worship. COVID-19 has almost put a stop to our way of life. Vaccination is our best shot at getting back to normal. The COVID-19 vaccine is based on more than a decade of research. Trials show it's safe and can provide up to 95% protection when you've received both doses. Tanner is committed to making the vaccine as widely available as possible, giving you a shot at getting back to life. Until then, keep wearing your mask, washing your hands, and avoid gatherings. Learn more and get updates at tanner.org/vaccine.
At Oak Mountain Academy, our daily schedule includes convocation, prayer, and the Pledge of Allegiance. By doing so, we build a family-like community where all students grow and flourish and personal faith is encouraged. Through community service and a historical approach to biblical study, our students are taught the value of the warrior way, honesty, respect, and responsibility. Oak Mountain Academy, we are a family creating legacies. To learn more, visit oakmountain.us.
8:51. Welcome back to the WLBB Community Voice program here on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3. Also streaming live online at newstalk1330.com. And this morning we're on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page. My guest this morning, Barry Gardner and Don Levans, seated across from me at the big table here. We're celebrating our military veterans this weekend, Carroll County Veterans Memorial Park, with their Memorial Day event. And from what I understand, based on our first segment, we're pretty much back to normal. As far as operating for this event.
We got our shots. We got permission. It's outside. Get your butt over there.
And it's supposed to be a beautiful day, too. So
it should be a great day all the way around.
Hope everybody gets a chance to, anybody wants to, gets the chance to go out there and enjoy that on Saturday. And if not, we're going to broadcast it on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page video. And, of course, you can catch the audio if you're driving around in your car. If you're at home, got the radio on, it'll be on News Talk 1330 and FM 106.3. We'll try and get as much Terry Lowry music in there as we can before the actual event starts at 11 o'clock. Sir. But, at least tune in by 11 o'clock Saturday morning if you're going to choose to listen to it on the radio or watch it on the Facebook page. But, before we wrap up the program here, guys, let's talk about the event one more time. The celebration of Memorial Day at this location. Have you guys been doing that the entire 20 years? Or have
I think so.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, we have two, we have Memorial Day and Veterans Day. And that's really the two things the park does. We honor the veterans, but we also provide space for these types of events. And in a few years past, we advertised that we needed a contribution to buy a sound system, and we got a check in the mail for the exact $12,000 we needed to buy it. So we have a wonderful sound system. And the county supports us by setting up these bleachers and making a venue at the park. With the park as background, it's a beautiful thing set up.
Mm-hmm. What can the public do to help to maintain that park? I mean, are funds? I mean, can people help clean it up?
Go to our website. It's easy to make a donation. There's a little clicker there that says donate. Click on it and put how much you want, and it'll be taken out of your checkbook.
We keep it. We do a good job keeping it clean. You guys never had any problems up there?
The county helps us a lot with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But we do have work days, and they are listed on our website on our calendar when we do those.
Okay, so if somebody wanted to help.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You want to know how the idea started for having a rededication?
Yeah, how'd that come about?
Well, a couple of months ago, Michelle Morgan called me and said, "Donald, how can we recognize some of the folks that have caused this park to be over there?" Mm-hmm. And so I said, "Well, we need a piece of black granite bought to put our index plaques on, and there's a big space on the back of it that we could put some really nice words, and it costs about $6,000. So lo and behold, the county agreed to, and Sheriff Terry Langley agreed to buy that black marble, and Michelle agreed to be the speaker at the event and dedicate that memorial and rededicate the park. And so that was all going great, and then along comes this pandemic mess, and they couldn't get workers to work on getting the granite fixed. So now the granite ain't coming. So we're got a little how to fix it thing. We have printed a sign-like thing that is a replica of what will be there, and it will be put together tomorrow on a little thing we'll build and placed in front of the podium really, she'll have a wonderful way to dedicate it, and everybody can see what it's going to look like. Then when it comes, it'll be put in place and be a permanent picture in the park.
Yeah. We have a saying in the military about adapting and overcoming and continuing the mission. So essentially, that's what we're going to do. We're going to Charlie Mike, continue the mission, pull this dedication off, and just carry on like everything was the way it was scheduled to be, make the best of the situation. But I'm looking forward to a great presentation. And Michelle is fired up and ready to go, so we can't wait to have her come out there, read the proclamation, and rededicate our park.
We'll try and we'll touch on that here one more time before we wrap up the program. But let me ask you, because Donald, with the American Legion, number 143, you guys attend a lot of local funerals for veterans. How did over the last year? I mean, are people making up for those the ceremonies? Are they all
Yeah, there's memorial ceremonies are being held after the person has been buried for a year.
Yeah.
We did a memorial a week ago Saturday for Hugh Barra, who had been buried last May. So we that, but we're doing 65 funerals a month. Now our average is about one a week. It's a little bit more than average, to tell you the truth.
So, but some families may think like, all right, well, it happened. He passed away 6-7 months ago.
Contact the funeral home, and the funeral home will contact us. That's the system. That's the way it handles.
You think it's important still to do that, right?
Yeah, this is an honor that you cannot believe how special it is to hand a flag to a widow. See, I get tears in my eyes. So you're doing us a favor to let us do it.
You good people, Don Levans. All right, guys, we got about 2 minutes left in this show. Let's promote the big event one more time coming up on Saturday.
And Bill Maddox's phone number.
And Bill Maddox's phone number.
770-832-8442.
And why do we want to call Bill?
Call Bill because you want to talk to him about a plaque.
Okay.
You need a DD-214 discharge paper, and that's it. And $300.
That's it.
You need to be associated with Carroll County, and we'll find if you got $300, we'll find out a way to associate you.
Way to go! Yeah.
All right, guys, celebrating our military veterans this weekend. The event starts at 11 o'clock. We're going to have music at least by 10:30. Terry Lowry and is it the Carroll Wind Ensemble? Is that who's performing?
Carrollton Wind Ensemble.
Carrollton now.
Yeah.
Is Carrollton
Wind Ensemble.
It's
correct.
not Carroll County anymore.
I think it was just Carroll. You sure?
Terry told me that.
But listen,
whatever Terry says
Carroll
goes.
County folks can still listen at them.
11 o'clock, guys. Yeah, what's a good time for people to show up? Just 10:15? Is that too early?
You should be getting there by 10:30 so you can hear at least 15 minutes of Terry.
And there's plenty of parking.
Plenty of parking. There'll be bleachers provided. Again, we'll socially distance on the bleachers. Bring your own chair. It's much more comfortable than the bleachers, but we've got them spread out. You'll be able to put chairs between the bleachers. So we're looking forward to a good crowd out there.
And bring some bottled water.
Well,
too.
we're not going to.
We'll have bottled water out
will
there.
have
We will have
water.
bottled water, so no problem there.
We're not providing chairs. That's the main difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you space yourself. You sit like you want to.
Gentlemen, thank you for coming on
Thank
this
you.
morning and promoting your event. We appreciate you listening this morning to the WLBB Community Voice program here on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3. Hope you tune in tomorrow morning at 8:30 right here on News Talk 1330.